야, 진영아 다 시켰어요. 진영아 다 시켰어요.
아니 나는 옥상으로 올라가는데 애들이 한층 아래 있다 하더라고. 아 그래? 아니야 다 들어갔어.
여기 멤버존이 있는데 올해 거 사진이 없어요.
오케이.
오케이. 자 그러면 이제
이거 찍어서 그냥 인화하면 되나? 캡처해서?
Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. News of today's Jimin Live spread like wildfire. Within minutes of the broadcast ending, ARMY's timelines around the world were filled with the same question. What the heck just happened? Because what was on screen wasn't just a cute moment or typical fan service. There was something much warmer, softer, and very real. Jimin and Jungkook, two names who have been together for years, once again made the world pause with just one hug and a small touch of the chin. The live started off with a relaxed atmosphere. Jimin appeared with his signature smile, his face bright, his eyes sparkling as if he was truly enjoying his time with ARMY. There was no sign that a few minutes later, the entire fandom would be in an uproar. Jimin spoke softly, chuckled, and occasionally teased ARMY as usual. Everything felt normal, warm, and familiar. But that's precisely why the next moment felt all the more surprising. When Jungkook appeared, the energy shifted immediately. Jimin's smile widened, his expression changing to something that only appeared when he was around one particular person. Jungkook looked comfortable, relaxed, as if his presence was the most natural thing in the world. There was no awkwardness, no distance, just two people who had known each other too long to pretend. Then the moment happened. A simple hug, no big words, no dramatic announcement. But it was precisely that simplicity that made it so powerful. The way they leaned into each other, the way their bodies automatically sought each other, the way Jimin leaned in with such trust, and the way Jungkook returned it without hesitation. It wasn't a hug made for the cameras. It was a hug that happened because the heart wanted it. And as if that wasn't enough to make ARMY scream, there was one small detail that immediately left everyone speechless. Jungkook gently touched Jimin's chin. It was a touch so subtle, so slow, almost like a natural reflex. Not overdone, not forced. Just one small gesture, but packed with meaning. Jimin didn't pull away. He wasn't surprised. Instead, he smiled with such a gentle, comfortable expression, as if the touch was something he was already familiar with. That's when it dawned on many. This moment felt different. This wasn't just a camera-conscious, idle interaction. This wasn't a cute sketch or a staged fan service scene. There was a sincerity that's hard to explain logically. There was an emotional intimacy that can't be learned or practiced. It can only emerge from a relationship built over years, through joy and sorrow, through silence and laughter, through small moments never seen by the public. The ARMY's reaction was unstoppable. Cries, screams, keyboard smashes, and thousands of "so cute" comments flooded social media. Many admitted to crying not because they were overly emotional, but because they were moved. Seeing two people who had been so misunderstood, separated by false narratives, and made the subject of debate, finally so freely expressing their closeness, even if only for a moment. What made this moment even more touching was the context. Jimin and Jungkook weren't strangers to each other. They had grown together, struggled together, fallen together, and risen together. From uncertain trainees to global artists, they've always been on the same page. Much has changed around them, but the way they look at each other and approach each other seems to have never changed. That chin touch to some might seem trivial, but to those who truly pay attention, it's a silent expression of affection. A small gesture usually only used when someone feels very close, very comfortable, and deeply cared for. There's no need for explanation. Their bodies speak for themselves. Jimin looked so relaxed. There was no expression of shock or awkwardness. Instead, there was a small smile, slightly narrowed eyes, and a gentle aura that was hard to deny. It was the face of someone who felt safe. And Jungkook, in his own way, displayed such natural concern. He wasn't overbearing, not trying to steal the spotlight. He was simply there with Jimin, fully present. Many armies said this moment felt like a reminder that behind the big stage, behind the concepts and busy schedules, they were still human. They still had real feelings, closeness, and a bond. And when moments like these appear, even if only for a few seconds, it's like seeing a small glimpse into their real world. The live stream ended, but its impact didn't end. The video was replayed thousands of times. Analysis emerged, not to prove anything out of place, but to celebrate what was seen. Many said they didn't need labels or explanations. Simply seeing Jimin and Jungkook together was more than enough.
생일 축하합니다. 사랑하는 제이 생일 축하합니다.
그냥 인화하면 되나? 캡처해서?
윤경 없어, 윤경 없어. 윤경 합성해.
눈기다? 눈기다?
요새 잘 따져.
눈기다, 눈기다.
정규야.
AI한테 해달라면 돼.
딸이 눕겠다.
What was most touching was the realization that this moment didn't feel forced. There was no look at us energy. There was simply, we are like this. And it was precisely that honesty that made it so powerful. That hug, that touch, that smile, it all felt like small pieces of a long story they had written together over the years. Today, Jimin Live wasn't just another broadcast. It was a reminder of tenderness, about how affection doesn't always have to be grand and dramatic. Sometimes, it comes in the form of a quick hug and a touch on the chin, enough to make millions around the world smile while holding back tears. And perhaps that's the beauty of it. Not everything needs to be explained. Not every feeling needs to be shouted out. Some moments just need to be felt. And today, Jimin and Jungkook gave us that moment. A small, sweet, and so human. One that will long live in the hearts of anyone who witnessed it. Thank you for watching until the end. If you felt the same warmth from Jimin Live today, from that simple hug, from that small touch on the chin that felt so genuine, then you're not alone. It's moments like these that remind us why Jimin and Jungkook are so beloved, not just as artists, but as human beings full of feelings. Don't forget to hit the like button if this video touched your heart, and subscribe so you don't miss out on their warm, honest, and meaningful stories. Let us know in the comments below how you felt when you saw that moment. Whether you smiled, were moved, or even cried like so many armies. Your voice matters, and this story feels more complete when we share it together. See you in the next video. Let's continue to keep this space filled with love, understanding, and warmth.